Hi everybody, it's Miss Shimeko. We're working on a new project this week. It's going to be a multi-step project, so just stay with me. We're going to go nice and slow with this. We're going to be starting self-portraits. So what you're going to need to have is your sketchbook or a plain white piece of paper, and this week you just need a pencil and a good eraser. A self-portrait is when you draw or paint or sculpt an image of yourself. We're going to just focus on the face and maybe just the neck a little bit. So we're just gonna be kind of containing our self-portrait to that. And we're going to work on something called proportions. Proportion is the correct placement of features. So if you're looking at my face, you can see that my eyes are actually halfway in between the top of my head and my chin. People never believe that until I actually make them put their hands on their head and their chin and meet them in the middle. So there are my eyes. And then your nose, the bottom of your nose is in between your eyes and your chin. There we go. And then your mouth is in between your nose and your chin. So I'm going to give you some guidelines. I'm going to go nice and slow with you. I will do step by step. If you need to pause the video while you're doing this, that's totally fine. And we're going to keep it relatively simple. Okay, so go get your stuff and meet me back here. All right, so paper is held vertically, that's up and down, and you have a pencil, and we're going to get started with the first few steps of our self-portraits today. So what I want you to do is think about the shape of your face. It's not a circle, it's not a square, it's not a rectangle, but it's an oval. An oval, as you know, is sort of like a kind of stretched out and pushed in circle. So what I'm going to teach you guys first is to draw very, very lightly. What you can do is you can start air drawing, meaning you can start going in the shape that you want to be drawing, and then gently just put your pencil down. So I'm gonna go nice and slow. There, now, I don't know if you can even see that. It's not perfect, but it's more of an oval than a circle, right? It's a little bit narrower and a little bit longer than a circle. Okay, so that's nice and light. We can always change this later. When you have it nice and light, you can change, you can bring it in a little bit. You can erase some sections. If you go really dark, it's really hard to erase, okay? So then what I want you guys to do after you draw your oval is to very lightly draw a line down the center of the oval, very, very lightly. So I'm gonna go nice and light. It is not perfect, that is okay. So I divided it in half vertically. Then I want you to divide your your oval in half horizontally. So I'm just gonna go nice and slow across that way. I want you to then take your pencil, line it up, put your finger on the bottom of the oval and sort of estimate where the center is going to be between the pencil and your finger, right here. So I'm just gonna go a little line there. And I'm going to then keep my fingers, one is on that line and one is on the chin, and find the center there and put a line there, okay? I am also going to find the center of these lines here. So I'm gonna put my finger right in the middle of all of the intersections, right in the center, and my pencil over here, bring them to the middle, make a little line there. Same thing over here. I'm gonna take my pencil, put my finger, find the middle, put a little line there. Okay, that's the start. So I'm going to get this a little closer to you guys so you can see. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out with some very, very light circles. So I'm just going to make a little circle here, there. I'm just going to try to keep them the same size as each other, and I'm going to do another one right at the top of that line there. Okay, it looks a little weird, but just trust me for now. This is what we're working on. We've got circle, 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 all about the same size, okay? What you can do, since you have those circles now, is you can erase inside the circles, okay? We're gonna leave this line down here for now. And you can actually erase this side guideline. If you have a bigger eraser, by all means, go ahead and use it. And you can actually erase this middle line now too. but don't erase the little line for the mouth and just leave that part of the nose there. So it looks sort of like a cartoon face so far, okay? What we're gonna do now is we're actually going to focus on the eyes. So I'm going to draw a curvy line from side to side. I'm thinking about this. Maybe we should have left these lines in here. So you can just kind of put those back in just to give you a little bit of a guide. So you're going to curve, but cut off the top of your circle. Curve, cut off the top of your circle, and you're gonna curve, and this one can be at the bottom of that one. Okay, that just helped me guide them a little bit. So, sorry, I'm bumping the camera. So I kind of cut off the top of my iris. The iris is the colorful part of your eye. I cut off the top of that because your eyelid would just kind of go a little bit lower than your iris, right there and there. And I kind of just jotted down that guideline again. Sorry about that, you guys. But now I can erase that line. Okay, we're just gonna keep this like a simple self-portrait. We're not gonna be super duper realistic. And you can also add in the pupil. That's the dark circle in the center of the iris, okay? I'm also going to add an eyelid. So I'm going to go from the center and go over and just kind of leave it like that. And then I might erase that top of that circle. I'm gonna go over this one. Erase the top of that circle. So you have an eyelid. See how that's kind of looking like that? Okay. And what we're also gonna do is we're gonna work on the nose. So for the nose, this is sort of like the center of the nose, but you're not going to see a full circle. We're just gonna leave that for now. I'm going to very lightly draw, it looks like a little parenthesis, like a little curve there and a little curve there. And I'm gonna erase the top. And basically this just gives me like a little nostril. So I'm curving up and up. So I'm gonna bring that nice and close to you. You see what I did? I erased the top of the circle. The circle was here. I erased the top of the circle like that. I did a little parenthesis here, like a curve, a little curve here. And then I just kind of curved it to give it a little bit of a nostril. Curve and give a little nostril. Okay? And let's do a mouth. We're gonna be adding more features in a second, but let's do a mouth. So this line here is going to be the middle line of the mouth. So you can kind of curve that up a little bit more. And what you guys could be doing is looking in a mirror or looking at a photograph of yourself as you're drawing, but you can also go back in and change this up a little bit to make it look a little bit more like you. We're just getting the major features in together. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a curve under my nose and a little bit of a curve there, and then just kind of bring it down. I actually want to make that a little bit narrower. And you guys, once you start looking in the mirror and checking yourselves out, you can look and see that some mouths have more of a dip here, some have more of a pointy section there. I'm just keeping it very simple to get the features in, okay? We are going to add eyebrows and ears, and then we're gonna stop this week, okay? So for the eyebrows actually come in from above the center of the eye, the inside part of the eye. And I'm just going to kind of curve this into my nose. Okay, this part I'll probably erase, but I'm just getting the line of the eyebrow, okay? So it just kind of curves back around the eyes, okay? And then an eyebrow, generally, you know, you have the hairs in your eyebrow. they grow up. So I'm just kind of giving it like a shape like that. And then I am actually gonna erase this because I don't really like the way that looks. Okay. Again, this is not perfect. This may not even look exactly like you, but we're just learning quickly how to get some of those proportions correct, meaning the right size and placement of your features. Actually, I might bring this out a little bit. And that's what you'll find yourself doing too. You might start playing around with it and seeing, oh, I want to do this here. Some of you may have learned other ways to draw features, but I don't want to see cartoons, guys. We're working on making this as realistic as possible. Okay. Last thing we're going to do are ears today. So ears, we had that line going through our eyes before. So one ear, the top of your ear starts by the eye and it ends sort of by the nose. I'm going to do that over here too. I'm making a little mark here, kind of making a little nose here, a little mark by my nose. And then I'm just going to curve the ear close to the head. All right. There you are with no hair. Okay. Keep it simple. Sorry, I keep bumping my camera. Work on getting the placement of everything correct. You can erase any of those guidelines that you still see. We're going to work on hair and neck and colors next week. So that was drawing a self-portrait or a portrait quickly, but accurately today. I cannot wait to see how yours are looking. Remember to use as much of your paper as possible, guys. Keep it pretty big. I don't want to see a teeny tiny little portrait. Okay? Thank you so much.